សមាជិកគណៈបកសង្គ្រោះជាតិប្រាជ្ញាប្រធានសាមគ្គីក្រុមនានាសង្គ្រោះបម្រើការពារកម្ពុជាខ្មែរត្រឹមរកគ្នាទាមទារសិទ្ធិសេរីឯករាជ្យបូរណភាពអធិបតេយ្យខ្មែរប្រុសស្រីបដូរផ្ដាច់ថែរក្សាមិនឲ្យបរទិញឈ្លានពានមកត្រួតត្រាសម្បត្តិដូនតាធនធានជាតិខ្មែរ
ជំរាបសួរ Welcome and thank you for joining our show today. This is Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. This is part of the CNRP America show. My name is Linda Wu. Today is Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. Our campaign, Ending Impunity for Justice in Cambodia, so far we have gathered 64,659 signatures. Thank you. But your support is still vital in this campaign. Please join me to support ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Together we fight to end impunity. Together we hold Hun Sen responsible for continue to kill and hurt Cambodian. As of now, hundreds of victims never receive any real justice. So together we fight to end impunity for justice, finding justice for victims of state-backed killing. Please watch a short video regarding ending impunity for justice in Cambodia by Her Excellency Mosakua. Thank you.
តើយុត្តិធម៌ឬនីតិភាព
Between 1975 and 1979, the green rice fields of Cambodia became the killing fields of Cambodia. Over 2 million lives were lost, including the lives of my own parents and many of my relatives. The Khmer Rouge wanted a society that is equal according to them. We still live and we are haunted with the legacy of the Khmer Rouge, which is the culture of impunity that continues to exist in Cambodia today. It is for this reason that we have started a campaign, worldwide campaign, a campaign to end impunity in Cambodia by seeking justice for cases, for the executions, for the killings that are organized, that are backed by the state. Among those cases of state-backed killings are the killings of Chivichir, a very famous trade union leader, Bisep Pilaka, a ballet dancer, of Kemley, an independent analyst, of Chutvuti, a well-known environmentalist, of Venerable Sun Bunthun, who was advocating for the monks to have the right to vote, including workers who demanded fair wages. The campaign will also advocate for governments that are members of the United Nations to put pressure on the government of Cambodia to conduct independent investigations by using universal tools such as the UN Protocol for Independent Investigation. The campaign will also advocate for governments that believe and want to protect universal human rights to impose sanctions on the leaders of the government of Cambodia who are implicated in these state-backed extrajudicial killings. We ask you to be with us, to support us, to be part of a campaign to end the culture of impunity in Cambodia and to find justice for those who have been waiting for justice for their loved ones killed by the state. There cannot be real peace unless there is justice. There cannot be justice unless there is independent investigation. And then take those cases to an independent justice system. Join us by signing on this petition. Thank you.
យើងរួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
Thank you and welcome back. This is CNRP America TV show. This is Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. My name is Linda. I haven't done this, and maybe I usually do once a month to properly greet my Cambodian audience or my Khmer audience. So ខ្ញុំប្រកាសណាសូមក្រាបថ្វាយបង្គំព្រះសង្ឃគ្រប់អង្គជាទីគោរព នាងខ្ញុំសូមជម្រាបសួរបងប្អូនជនរួមជាតិក្នុងនិងក្រៅប្រទេសជាទីរាប់អានចានាងខ្ញុំឈ្មោះ Linda U នាងខ្ញុំសូមស្វាគមន៍និងសូមអរគុណចំពោះការតាមដានទស្សនាកម្មវិធីថ្ងៃនេះសំឡេងយុវជនខ្មែរដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌ជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសចានៅក្នុងមួយអាទិត្យ7ថ្ងៃកម្មវិធីរបស់យើងក្នុងថ្ងៃអង្គារឬក៏ថ្ងៃពុធនៅស្រុកខ្មែរជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសយើងចង់និយាយភាសាអង់គ្លេសដើម្បីឲ្យយុវជនជំនាន់ក្រោយនិងជនបរទេសបានយល់ពីស្ថានភាពនៅស្រុកខ្មែរចាដូច្នេះហើយសូមអភ័យទោសដែលមិនបាននិយាយភាសាខ្មែរថ្ងៃនេះក៏ប៉ុន្តែកម្មវិធីរបស់គណៈបក្សសង្គ្រោះជាតិអាមេរិកក្នុងរយៈពេល7ថ្ងៃ6ថ្ងៃជាភាសាខ្មែរដូច្នេះហើយសូមតាមដានជាភាសាខ្មែររាល់ថ្ងៃពីថ្ងៃពុធដល់ថ្ងៃច័ន្ទហើយថ្ងៃអង្គារគឺជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសចា Hi, welcome back. I have actually the topic for today's show is youth political participations. Basically, we want youth to get involved in politics and why politics is important. When many people said that you shouldn't be talking about politics or talking about religion at I guess the dining table or at work, but we want to talk about today so that way we understand what it means, why we should talk about that, and why is it important that we talk about that. I have 3 wonderful guests today. Let me bring them one at a time. My first guest, her name is Kathy Dow. She's been here before. She is from Alberta, Canada. Correct, Kathy?
That is correct, man.
How are you?
I am doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you. And thank you for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So what's going on since we last saw you?
Nothing much is going on lately. A lot of, Asian hate crimes that I've been seeing a lot on the news. A lot of activists that's trying to support us and everything. Other than that, nothing has really gone up here in Calgary, Alberta.
Is it happen over there too, or you only see news in America?
I only seen the news in America. However, I know this upcoming Sunday that we're going to have a protest downtown, just to support, Asian hate crime and trying to stop it. So yeah.
Okay, that's a good topic today too. Okay, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me bring our next guest. His name is Sammady. Sammady, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, tell us something new about you that we don't know.
Well, there's nothing new. I've been here often, so just keeping up with the politics in Cambodia and the vaccine that been going on in our country, because our prime minister is playing around with the lives of Cambodian people. Yes, that seems to be the topic right now.
Yes, that is the topic. We probably going to be touch base on that a little bit also. Thank you, Sammady, for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support. Let me bring my next guest. His name is Sonthara. How are you?
Good. Let me say hi to our audience around the world right now. Yeah, I'm good. Uh, Recently, I just got my first vaccines of Pfizer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first one, and the next one, the second one gonna be the 1st of April, and in Long Beach right now, I heard like the restaurant, like a Hiang restaurant, allowed to dine in now right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually went to a restaurant on Saturday, and I actually ordered takeout, but I didn't know that they actually. I mean, it's not in Long Beach, in Santa Ana. They do have sit-in, so I was surprised. I didn't know, so I actually order takeout, but I know that they allow sit down now. You don't have to stay. I mean, you don't have to stay outside anymore.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So how do you feel with your first vaccine?
The first, I I
Any
don't
reaction?
I don't feel anything at all. The same
Okay.
as regular shot.
Okay. Okay. Um, yeah, I got my second shot last week.
Great.
Last Thursday. It was okay. On Friday, I was a little drowsy, kind of like drowsy from that, but I spent all day sleeping, so I was okay.
I I took like last Friday the drive-through at the convention, Long Beach Convention Center.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. So we all good. Let me bring all the other two back in. Kathy, have you had your vaccine yet?
I have not actually. We're in Canada. We're doing elders first, so 65 and above. Until that's done, we health workers and anyone who's under can get their vaccines.
Okay.
Yeah.
We doing. I mean, we were at 65 and older, and then they open up for, I believe, critical manufacturing and also critical devices. And I think right now they open for services like restaurant and food services.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun.
Yes.
Might be
So
the one. Might be the ones deal with the customer service, right?
yes, yes. So they were able to. I mean, it's only fair because they work at a restaurant and they serve food and they prepare food. It's only um, fair that they get a shot.
Yeah. They in the front line. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the front line. I'm in the front line for our food. Okay. Well, thank you all three guests for being here today. I appreciate it that you taking your time. And the topic today should be very interesting. I have two youths here and Lupu, and so you can give your wisdom to these two youths.
Okay.
Okay, the topic is youth political participations. The idea of the topic is from watching the protests in Myanmar, and we see a lot of movie stars, we see a lot of kid, meaning like youth, student. There's a lot of youth out there and protesting. And if our audience wasn't aware, on February 1st, the military coup took over. So as of right now, I mean, it's been on the 8 weeks, they're still protesting, and a lot of people is dying. So it's been maybe, I believe, probably over 300 people now that have been dead. So, our condolence is going out to the family. It's not, I mean, democracy is something to fight for, and that's what they're doing right now. They are fighting for democracy. So back to the topic, a lot of kids on the street protesting, and it got my attention. So since Kathy and Sammady is here today, is it important for you to get involved in politics or talk about politics? You can go ahead, Kathy.
Oh, thank you. I think it is very important for the youth to be like involved into politics because, we are the future. And if we don't have enough youth, learning about our politics, then what's the point of having democracy and everything like that? So having youth participate in any much way they can, such as like going to protest, standing up for what they believe in, and actually knowing like what's going on in my country is like, it's basically depending on, like, our youth is depending on, you know, the future of the country.
Well, thank you, Kathy. Yes, I feel it's very important. I will tell you later on why my opinion, but let me put Sammady in. Sammady, do you have any input? Why is it important for you to get involved?
Well, I believe in America is youth has already have an ideas how to get involved in politics. As you can see from Black Lives Matter, the recent incident happened to uh, is it a nail spa, a place like that? And you can see on social media people sharing and stuff like that to inform their friend. But I believe in Cambodia, youth is not more into politics. They are too busy with everyday life. And as if you use Facebook often, you've seen that recently, most youth in Cambodia is more interested into other people's house affair. For example, you see the guy hitting his wife. He received like 3 million views in an hours. Just that shows how youth in Cambodia react to the event that happened currently in the country. So a huge difference. So I believe it is important for youth in Cambodia to start involved in politics and know what's going on around them.
How about youth in America and youth in Canada? Is that important for youth in America and Canada to care about politics?
Yeah, I would say so.
It came naturally.
I do agree. It does come naturally.
Yeah.
I believe it's not come naturally. You heard it from your parent, and you discussed it at dining table. What's going on in the world? That's how you get interested in caring about what's going on. You take your position, which right and which wrong, and that most of the time, if you study politics, that's what people believe, that your family have a lot of what you believe in, which side you at. And I know Sammady parent, and I don't know Kathy parent, but I know she is CNRP supporter. So I know that her parent must be a CNRP supporter. So it's run in the family, it run in my family, it run in Sammady family, and it's run in Kathy family. Correct?
All correct, yes.
Okay, yeah. So your parent, have a lot of things to do with that, and I would like to say thank you, Kathy parent, thank you, Sammady parent, for having both of you here today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I mean, without their support, you wouldn't be here. Without their support of saying, pushing you here, you wouldn't be here. So I would like to say thank you for that. Okay, let me add Mr. Sonthara. Would you like to add your wisdom? Why is it important for youth in America and youth in Cambodia to care about politics?
Since I'm between, not like a young guy. You're born here, you feel like a natural, right? But for me, since I'm between, so I know. Since you guys born here, you have the freedom of right and speak, and your life, still open to the world. So you have more chance than the kid in Cambodia. When they're talking about like dealing with the politics, they said, "Oh, no, not good at all." But it's totally different. So I think the youth need to participate a lot in politics. I saw recently the election 2020. I saw a lot of young people. They at the like a Democratic and Republican convention. There's a lot of young guys over there. So it seems like they create their own team and get more and more involved in politics than before.
You're
So
talking about the kid in America, correct?
yeah,
Not in
so
Cambodia, right?
yeah, so you guys, when you have more experience from that field, you can share with the one with the young CNRP activists in Cambodia, both in Cambodia and the ones in Thailand right now. So it's good for you.
Thank you, Mr. Sonthara. Yes, it is important that you understand and also need to differentiate when people talking about politics. People would, I mean, I believe youth in Cambodia probably think of political party, but it's not about political party. I mean, it is about that, but also it's about the law. It's about what's going on. Like one of my guests, her name is Terry Singh. She talking about Mr. Jia, where when he was alive, he worked basically trying to get factory worker, garment worker a decent pay, a decent living, a decent working conditions. And that was a long time ago. So people right now that work in the factory in Cambodia enjoy the fruit of what he worked for. And they need to know that. They need to know that everything before they walk on the street, there's somebody working so hard for them to be able to walk that street. The factory conditions, the minimum pay, it's something that was worked on since Mr. Chia was alive, and there's many people that work on that. So for youth right now to say, "Oh, I don't care about what's going on in politics," it's actually wrong, because every decisions that the government makes, basically in Cambodia, the regime make is gonna affect them. Every single law.
Yeah,
And they
if
need
you
to
don't care
understand that.
about the politics, how can your voice can be heard in the uh, in the like in the society? How can uh, you get the justice from the such a society like Cambodia as well?
Thank you. My next question, let me have you start, okay, Kathy? Um, can you share one topic right now in Canada that you're passionate about, that you care about, or other people should care about as well?
In Canada. Um, I think coming up, a lot of people are really like concerned about our pipelines, and it's such a big thing because half of our people say destroy the pipelines, and yet half of our people say keep the pipelines because it's a good economy going. However, other than that, it's our prime minister. He's all right, but he could be better. So, and this upcoming election, I believe it's next year, hopefully, that we get to like change up a little bit, change up the regime, because right now it's not going good with our pipelines, and we want our pipelines.
How about the Asian protest that you're going to go this weekend? How is that affecting you?
It is, since I was raised as an like Asian Canadian. It has a really big impact on me, saying like this is our people. This is colored skin. Like there should be no difference. So going to this protest, not this Sunday, sorry, next Sunday, April
This
4th.
Sunday,
It
okay.
I can finally like step up my voice and saying like we gotta stop this. Like um like we gotta stop this, and like it's not going well like with America, what's going on. So we're trying to show our support from Calgary to show to America that we're on this with you guys.
Yes, a lot of protests as well over here for stop Asian hate. It finally brought to the media's attention. It's been happening since coronavirus, so it's been over a year that Asian American been attacked. So it's really important that we support, and there's also it's very important that we bring attention, because we Cambodian, which is we Asian. So um, even though I have not heard of Cambodian being attacked, but I might be not paying attention. But people life matter. one person get hurt, we should all care and concern about that. Also, there's protests going on as well to support the people in Myanmar. That is all over the country as well. I mean, basically, they're going to the Chinese embassy because Chinese supporting the military regime. So they're going to I believe every weekend there's a protest. If you know any protests on that, just go and join them because it's a really good cause. It's a cause for democracy, and it's a cause that we all should be concerned about. And that's not just me. We you, older people, younger people, go and support. Sammady, now I'm gonna go to you. What is the topic right now that you are passionate about in America?
Well, the hottest topic right now is on the topic of Asian hate. We can see that the White House has been blamed for the lack of diversity of Asian American to represent their voice in the White House. So that's also the hot topics to discuss because, as you can see, Kamala Harris, she the first female vice president of the United States. That could considered to be something new, but in order to stop Asian hates or crimes against Asians since COVID, we need a voice in the White House on the Biden administrations. Yeah, so that is the topic that I'm keeping up right now.
Thank you, Sammady. Look, what is the topic you're passionate about right now in America?
I I think the Asian hate is still in the hot topic in America right now, and you know the the youth better create their own group um, to show your to let your voice be heard. Only a protester, protest in the U.S. But so you guys have more chance than the kid in Cambodia. So you gotta to show that to stop that the kind of discrimination, Asian discrimination and Asian hate. So you gotta show that. I think you guys gonna have a lot of friends join the protest.
Let me thank you, Lukpu. Let me read some of the topics, some of the concerns, some of the basically what should you concern about. Um, in America, there's a current minimum wage in America that people are wanting to raise minimum wage. If you are a high school kid and you are working, you should be concerned about that because those people that go protesting, it help with your paycheck. Um, educations.
Mm.
Everybody should have equal access. How about free education for college? Wouldn't that be good?
Mm.
Healthcare. I know Hathi's in Canada. I heard really good healthcare.
We got
But
universal.
I know America doesn't have universal. It's very expensive. That's one of the things that if you don't have a full-time job and you have to buy your own health insurance, it's very expensive. Climate change. Anybody believe in that?
Yep. We just had
Yep.
snow here yesterday.
Immigration law.
Mm.
Okay, that's
Yep.
in America.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you heard, Kathy. How about what happened yesterday in Boulder, Colorado?
I've heard. I was so devastated. Like again. Like this is like the second like shooting within like a week from each
Yes.
other. Maybe 2 weeks. I wasn't too sure. I think it's a week. But like it's too much.
So that's also concern about the topic of gun control.
Hmm.
See, if you list it up, there's a lot of topic that should be care about and the topic that you should concern about if they live in America. So that way, because those laws, if it make to law, it will affect them. How about foreign affair? High school kid that I believe 18 or older need to register for military. That's foreign policy will impact them. If the government need the man to go into military, that will impact them. So they should concern about that. So this is just some of the list that I thought I was thinking about what kind of issue to talk about. Now let's talk about Cambodia. Kathy, do you know the topic in Cambodia that you want youth in Cambodia to concern about, to care about?
I honestly, I feel like the youth in Cambodia doesn't take politics seriously. Like, it's their country. And for like having politics, you're actually having your voice to step up and say what you want, what we need, and all that. And then if there's like no youth supporting, then what's the point of having Hun Sen or Sam Rang Si in the party if there's no politics with the youth? Hun Sen's regime is just going to stay the same. Like there's not going to be no change and anything like that. And so I think that politics in Cambodia should be taken a lot more seriously, especially with the youth, so they can actually like have a good life in the future, because our voice is depending on the future.
Thank you, Kathy. How about Mr. Sonthara? Any topic that you really passionate about in Cambodia?
Cambodia, recently, the case of like a Painvanatu. See what he said, in the social media, and now he go to say pardon to the monk in Cambodia. Just when they use like that, you gotta be forgiven for such a crime on social media. But in America, when you say any word or threaten to any people, you're gonna judge by the law, because the law in America, the law is a law. No one can forgive you, and then that's it. No.
You don't think it's his freedom of speech?
Yeah, not such a freedom of speech like that. When you threaten people, like threaten, not freedom of speech at all. So cannot be easily forgiven like that, because everyone, even the president or prime minister, they're all under the law. See, in here, like our former president Barack Obama, he said, even I'm the president, I'm still young. I want to be elected for the next term. It's okay because I'm still young. But even I'm a president of the United States of America, I'm under the law. So all I do, I can serve only 2 terms. That's it. And then I have the rest of my life to do something else. That's what he said. See? People in America, in Canada, they refer to the law, not like Cambodian at all.
I actually have a, what is it called? It started with something else before his conversation. So I have a stand on that regarding that whole situation. So we are not talking about that. We are going to move on because when he said that, it's something out that before that. So I really have a strongly again. I don't believe in abuse. That just, to me, it's truly an abuse, like anger and
not a speech of violent speech.
So since we're not talking about that, I would like to actually move on from that topic, because it's something that it's going to be a lot to be discussed, and we're going to have to explain what's going on in the beginning and what we stand on that. And my stand is, you should. the way it's teaching is old fashioned. And we are in 2021. We need to move away from that. And as a religion place, a religion freedom, the word, empathy, it need to be there. So it's a lot of thing going on with that topic. I guess Sammady, you wanna give me your passionate topic in Cambodia?
Well, in Cambodia on Facebook, you see people running away from the ambulance. If that is hot right now.
It's hot right
First, I
now.
don't. Well, first I don't understand the meaning of it because I saw people posting that they were worried and scared when they see an ambulance, but after a few hours I finally understand why people are running away because it's different from America. Here we call it quarantine, or in Canada, when you attract COVID, you quarantine yourself for 14 days. Um, and in Cambodia, if you caught COVID or have any symptom of COVID, there will be a police and ambulance looking for you. So whoever you associated, let's say you're at the coffee shop and someone's like 6 feet away from you, that person is going to quarantine with you, with the government. So this is unheard of. I never see people running away from an ambulance in Cambodia. And also our government also really proud recently because they received 10,000 of those of Sinovac from China, which to this date haven't released any studies on human and the effective rate of the vaccine yet. So I feel like Chinese is currently using Cambodian people as the test subjects to see if this person receive a second dose, what is their reactions, and if it's effective, if this person still attract COVID, even though they received the dose from Sinopharm, which haven't released any information like other vaccine like Pfizer or Moderna or AstraZeneca yet. Even if people complain that there's a side effects, our government just come out straight up and said that oh, it's not the vaccine. This person is 65 years old, have this disease. This disease caused them to die, not the vaccine. So this can be very misleading, in my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Sammady. Let me list some of the issues that I come up in Cambodia that the youth should care about. You touched base already on COVID-19. How about the law that just passed in one day that if you don't wear mask, they will fine you? How about that law?
Well, in Cambodia, COVID has affected the economic tremendously, and by charging people, finding them for not wearing mask, is like putting more pressure on them. Like I feel like this is an opportunity for the government to gain some more money from their citizens. So I don't agree with this policy at all.
Yes, yes. So that's just passed. I think 2 weeks ago. Also, I saw on Facebook this morning talking about temple. The list is, I guess, recommended by Samdak Hon Sign. I guess they in one day they're supposed to ring a bell or either ring a bell or bang on a gong. I think at 5 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock. Basically, to help people are being aware, basically trying to fight the virus, being aware to proactively be protected. So that was just, it's recommended by some that home sign. Everything in Cambodia cannot be operate, cannot move, nothing can go on, can move by itself without home sign saying that it's okay, it's a go, don't go and stop. So, Mr. Sonthara, I would like to, do you hear about that?
Yeah, I think it's like a 5 times a day. It's annoying, total annoying. When you drive a car, you got to pay attention to that. It's total annoying. Um, if they know they care about that, you know why he at the beginning he said like remember that's why he got a nickname of February the 31st.
February 31st, yes.
He said until the February had the 31st, so that the Kuwait, you know, present in Cambodia.
Yes,
But
so-
right now, when American become, you know, open the business, to reopen the business, Cambodia got a serious one. So it go different way. Even he care about that, you know, like a belief in like a 5 times ringing. That's not a scientific reasoning to do
I
that.
think it's just like an awakening, basically, to remind people to be careful, to to practice safe, wash your hand, wear your mask 6 feet apart. Basically, just reminding. But it's also, like I said, the temple cannot come up with this by themselves. It needs to be recommended by some Dutch Hun sign. And if you were a temple, if you were head of the temple, it's stamp on it. You need to do it. You don't have a choice.
You know, talking about the law too. The law in here, the law is a law. Either any word from the figures, any figures in Cambodia, any word from the figure or like from the prime minister become a law. So the word is stronger than the law. So you gotta listen to, see, when you in the public you say you gotta watch out that the prime minister Hun Sen said like drink no drink no drive. See, that's the law, the traffic law, not a word. But in Cambodia, the word from the any figures become a law. That's I want to compare about, you know, both cultures.
Let me continue on the what you should care about. How about the environment? What's going on with the environment lately? The forest is we cut down under development. The lake being filled with sand, and every time in Phnom Penh there's a raining, there's flood. So if you have a beautiful house in Phnom Penh, hopefully you never get flooded. So all your hard-earned money, there's a lot of cleanup to do. Also, minimum wage. I don't know what is the minimum wage in Cambodia. There's no such thing as an hour. I think minimum wage by per month. You have to work for, I believe, maybe 6 days a week. I think minimum wage maybe 190, but I'm not sure. I can be wrong. And also due to COVID-19, there's no support from the government. There's no support on no financial support, and there's no, I guess, no financial support. You on your own. They close the market, and you cannot sell anything. So, there, you our luck. You our luck.
I know one guy. He has kind of a 5 business area in Phnom Penh. He has a kind of fitness center. He opened a fitness center for 5 places. So right now he said all closed. So he has no money to pay for the rent at all. And I say, oh, you guys in Cambodia not the same like us. You know, we in the U.S., when you close a business, we got some finance or support from the government, at least or more than 50%. So we can survive for that, you know, situation. But in Cambodia, they say when they close, you have nothing to pay. You know, you pay from your own pocket for the rent. So that's why what happened for the poor? They have no money at all. So they need to borrow from the bank, and the bank try to get money back. and you have nothing to pay for that. So they're gonna go to your property, like land that costs a lot of things.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Sandra. Let me go to our next questions. We would like you to participate in politics. I'm not asking for you to run for office. I'm asking you to get involved, meaning be aware of what's going on. Kathy, would you like to help? What are the way that you can participate in politics?
Yeah. So I think a couple best ways to like include yourself into politics is by sharing what you see, and by sharing what you see, you allow other people and other youth, other adults to see what is happening, and with all that and what's happening with all that. And it's just a good way to like understand it. Another good way is just going to like the protests and showing, you're here to support whatever protest is going on. And like another good way is just by telling people, it's like, this is what's going on in like, in this country or that country. I would like to like have your support and tell you what's going on. And then, another good influence would be, just discussing it with your family and then sharing it to the world.
So basically, be proactive. Don't be close-minded.
Yeah, proactive, not close-minded. Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Let me put somebody in. Somebody, would you like to chime in? What can you do to participate, to get involved in politics?
Well, I have to answer. If you asking for the youth in America, like most, basically my classmate, people around my age, if they can't participate in the protests, they can share their voice through social media. In this case, Instagram. I saw them share stories on Asian hate. I saw them share stories on Black Lives Matter, even though they cannot participate at the protests. I saw them share things that is happening in Myanmar. Just a few hours ago, there's a child who got killed in a Myanmar protest. She's only 7 years old. That way, I know what is going on. I don't have to go look and search for it. That is youth outside the country. So that's how they involve in politics. And no one have to push them. While on the other hand, youth in Cambodia, almost 100% of them using Facebook. They only share stuff that doesn't relate it or benefit the country or things around them. So I believe we kind of play a huge role in it. Like the parents should encourage them to participate in the politics, just like my parent. When things, for example, they like to listen to Mr. Sonthara or RFA. They already discussed it at my house, so I know what's going on in Cambodia. And they voice their opinion, and I listen to it. So that is another way how you can participate in politics without having to go to protest if you can't. But if you can, that would be great too. So that is my opinion.
Thank you, Sammady. Before I continue, let me clear a little bit, because I see a lot of comment regarding this show in English. Let me speak Khmer a little bit. នាងខ្ញុំសូមអរគុណដែលនឹងសូមនាងខ្ញុំសូមស្វាគមន៍និងអរគុណដែលភ្ញៀវកិត្តិយសបាន like our audience basically តាមដានកម្មវិធីរបស់យើងថ្ងៃនេះសម្លេងយុវជនខ្មែរដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌ជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសថ្ងៃអង្គារយើងនិយាយជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសដូច្នេះហើយសូមអញ្ជើញតាមដានរងចាំកម្មវិធីរបស់យើងក្នុង7ថ្ងៃ6ថ្ងៃជាភាសាខ្មែរក៏ប៉ុន្តែថ្ងៃអង្គារយើងនិយាយជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសដើម្បីឲ្យយុវជនជំនាន់ក្រោយនិងជនបរទេសបានដឹងពីស្ថានភាពនៅស្រុកខ្មែរចាដូច្នេះហើយនាងខ្ញុំសូមអភ័យទោសដែលកម្មវិធីរបស់យើងថ្ងៃនេះនិយាយជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសចាតែស្អែក រហូតដល់ថ្ងៃច័ន្ទជាភាសាខ្មែរហើយកម្មវិធីរបស់យើងមាន you know មាន a really good topic every day. So please tune in and also tune into on Tuesday, so that way you can basically listen the topic in English. And if you don't know how to speak English, learn English today. You can be here and learn from us today. We not perfect. We speak English, but at the same time, we also និយាយខ្មែរ so អរគុណដែលបានតាមដានកម្មវិធីថ្ងៃនេះហើយសូមអភ័យទោសដែលមិនបាននិយាយភាសាខ្មែរចាព្រោះអី a lot of comment និយាយ mention that យើងទាំងអស់គ្នាមិនបាននិយាយភាសាខ្មែរក៏ប៉ុន្តែថ្ងៃនេះជាថ្ងៃអង់គ្លេសជាថ្ងៃនេះនិយាយភាសាអង់គ្លេសដូច្នេះហើយសូមតាមដានកម្មវិធីរបស់គណៈបក្សសង្គ្រោះជាតិអាមេរិកពីថ្ងៃពុធដល់ថ្ងៃច័ន្ទម៉ោងដដែលជាភាសាខ្មែរចា Hello, Mr. Sonthara. Sorry about that. Okay. I saw a lot of comments. You know, let me clarify. This is an English show. Yeah. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate all your comments. I just want to clarify. I know a lot of our audience probably so used to hearing Khmer because we do have 6 days per week in Khmer. So, you know, thank you so much for listening in English. And like I said, if you would like to learn English, this is the show. You can listen and also be aware of what's going on in Cambodia, especially the youth in America, the youth in Canada, and the youth outside of inside of Cambodia that can understand English.
So we open for, you know, this program is good, open for the, you know, for the young people in the US or Canada to share experience with, you know, with those in Cambodia, at least.
Thank you. Let's get back to our topic. What are the ways that you can participate in politics?
For me? Oh, okay. You know, at least the problems start from the CNRP dissolved and the member, I mean the seat voted by the people stolen. That's why I try to get more and more since then. And plus in our program, I'm so happy when like Kathy and Sammady, you start to get involved in the politics in this age, in this state of age. So, you know, the career in the politics is the same as the career in business. You start from your age, you get more experience, you learn about the leadership. A lot of things teach you from top politics. So you must be good in history. If you want to know something about Cambodia, you try to read like any page about the Cambodian history, or you want to learn more about something else in like in Burma. You start to read something about Burma what happened, why it become like that. It's serious like that. See, it pushes you, you know, to learn more. And especially in a social discourse.
Thank you, Mr. Sonthara. Yes, it's not about politics. It is the word politics, but it's more of aware what's going on. And when you're aware what's going on, what law is going on in your country and what's going on in Cambodia. We live in America. We still concerned about Cambodia because that's where our parents from, and we visited and we care about that because we have a brain and we have a heart. That's why we care about that. And the true democracy, we see true democracy in America. We see true democracy in Canada, especially outside of America. And when we look at Cambodia, that is not true democracy. That is 35 year, 40 year plus of Hun Sen regime. And that is no change. So if that's what we concern about, and if people ask, why do we care so much about Cambodia? Because our parents from there, our grandparents from there, our blood is from there, and to see people suffering, to see people, people abuse on human rights, and it's not true democracy. That's why we care about. I have last question. Maybe I start with Sammady. Um, I started out by saying that I know Sammady parent. I should get to know Kathy's parents because they send their kids to this show. So in order for you to be so involved with politics, so involved with CNRP, your parent have to be encouraging you. How does your parent encourage you, Sammady?
Well, they just encouraged me to seize this opportunity because what happened if I wasn't living in the United States and I want to have a freedom of speech and want to express my opinion? In Cambodia, when you mention something about politic or negative opinion toward the government, that is considered jail time. It's like a taboo word to use in Cambodia. While in the US, I can say anything I want. I can criticize the Hun Sen regime about the mask policy, let's say. I remember a few months back, he forbidden people to wear masks around him. So he said, if you dare to wear a mask around me, don't come to participate any of the event. Don't come near me. So now he just said whatever he want. If you don't wear a mask, the government will fine you during this time. So this is the topic to criticize him about. So I believe my parents encouraged me to be involved in politics, so I have a better understanding of our country. And we are fortunate that to live in the U.S. And even though the U.S. Government paid for all my college tuition and everything, I still care about my country. And yeah, so that is my opinion. Why my parent encouraged me to be involved in Cambodian politics, to be educated about our country, to not forget where we are from. I believe most Cambodian that are afraid to be involved in politics is because back then they ran from Pol Pot and they still have that fear in them to speak against the government, because during that time, if you express your opinion, they will kill you. Just like my dad fathers, my grandfathers from my dad's side, they kill him because he is a teacher. So I believe that is another important factors of most Cambodian people that are afraid to be involved in CNRP America and express their opinion. So I would like to seize this opportunity to express my opinion regarding the politics in Cambodia.
Thank you, Sammady. Kathy, how do your parent encourage you to basically it's not to run for office? If you run for office one day, it would be really great. But how did they teach you? How did they encourage you to get involved and so concerned about the law in Canada and also what's going on in Cambodia?
Yeah. So how my parents influenced me to like be a part of the CNRPA is just never forget where you come from, never forget our language, always learn about our history, and if we don't, then we don't care about our country. And it's very important because my dad every day when we have dinner, he would put RFA on so we can listen to the news, and then he would explain it to me and say like what's going on, and it's like this is what's happening right now, and then we would discuss it over dinner. And then with the laws in Canada here, I know that my dad has been down to downtown Calgary at the government building to show his protest, to show his protest about what's going on in Cambodia, and all that. So that's how we're getting our support. And then with that, coming on to my dad has been just telling me, did you study? Did you learn about history? Did you research? Like you gotta you gotta put your mindset into it.
Well, thank you, Dad, for that.
Sorry, you
Can
kind
you
of
hear
just.
me?
Yeah, I think my internet's a little frozen.
Oh, okay. I said thanks your dad for that.
Yeah, my dad has a big influence on me. He's always been trying to get me to support, and then he's trying to encourage me to go to the United Nations too.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And let me have Mr. Sonthara in. How do you think that we should encourage kids to get involved in politics, talk about politics, or take a stand on an issue?
I have three kids, so to start to understand something in Cambodia, I let them learn Khmer first, and I said I told them to to involve reading about the current affair, what happening in the in the world, and what happening in America. Okay, try to encourage them reading about what happening. So that is, since they still young, they gotta start from that.
Thank you, Mr. Sandra. Let me add a body back on. Um, my take on that, in order for the kid to understand what's going on in America, in order for the kid to understand what's going on in Cambodia, the topic needs to be talked about at the dining table. I know most people say, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion, don't talk about that at work, don't talk about that at home, don't talk about that at the family meeting. But that's the only time that you talk about is, I know it's controversial because people take sides and people sometimes get their feeling hurt. But it is important that we talk about that at the dining table, because that's how our kid and the future kid, and the next generation or generation right now will understand what's going on. If your parent, Kathy, would never talk about Cambodia, or your parent Sammady never talk about Cambodia, you will just know that beautiful Angkor temple in Cambodia, but that's all you know about. You wouldn't know the current situation in Cambodia, where you would know there's the regime been holding power for 35 years. Anybody in their right mind thinking 35 years is good, I don't know why would you think that. You need changes in your life. You go to school, you change teacher, you change university, you change school, and people change job. Why would you think that a country, for running by the same man for 30 years, doesn't need change? We need change. We need fresh idea, because like we said from the beginning, if Samdech Hun Sen does not send out a letter to do such and such, the country doesn't run. I mean, the country is just afraid to run, I guess.
I
So it is important that you pay attention. Also important that you care and concern about, Kathy and Sammady. You live in America, like I said. Immigration law, climate change, minimum wage, gun law. I know Kathy's in Canada. I know there's also woman issue, abortions. Um, what is it called? Is it pro-life or pro-choice? It's everywhere. And also that is the topic. And as a woman, it's something that you just have to decide which side you're on. And also, there's a lot of things that's going on in politics and climate change. So everybody need to be aware of that. So
like
thank you.
like in here we have affirmative action too. It's a part of that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that affirmative action is still going on. I know when I went to college, it was still going on. I think they either ended or they're going to start back up again. So it's that affirmative actions is in America, where I believe it, from what I remember, is like giving minority a fair chance at school and at work. Am I correct,
I
Mr. Sonthara?
Yeah.
It's
I
okay.
still remember when I had the debate in class debate. Um, we're talking about the marijuana legalized, right? And they said, why it in America it becomes so serious than in Cambodia? I tried to explain to my instructor. I said the law in Cambodia not strong enough about the marijuana, and but the community, the law cannot go to the rural area at all. But the community in the rural area is so strong. When they saw anyone smoke marijuana, that means you cannot have a girlfriend or boyfriend. The even older people they see that they're not gonna allow their kid to get involved with the kid who smoke marijuana at all. That communities is stronger than the law, but in here the law is stronger than the community. So that's why I share the experience with my instructor. I say, oh, that in your country the law only in the city and the town, but what happened in the rural area? I say the rural area, the community becomes stronger than the law in the town or city. That's why when the people smoke marijuana, you not gonna easily find your partner. I mean the love partner easily.
Thank you, Mr. Sonthara. Thank you, Kathy, for being here today. And I really tell your parents thank you. I appreciated you being here. It's a really fresh perspective, especially from Canada. And you should tell the Canadian government to open the door, open the border so we can visit.
Of course, I'll try to convince our government to do so.
We all have vaccine already. We vaccinated already, so they should open up the border for us. I mean, beside that, there's nothing wrong with Canada. We love Canada. We love Canadian. We love Kathy here. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you, Mr. Sonthara, for being here, and thank you, Kathy, for being here. Let me speak Cambodian a little bit. នាងខ្ញុំសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណដល់ប្រិយមិត្តដែលបានតាមដានទស្សនាកម្មវិធី live តាមទំព័រគណៈបក្សសង្គ្រោះជាតិអាមេរិកចាជួបគ្នាលើក្រោយថ្ងៃអង្គារ let me say thank you to my audience that been here today. It was a good conversation. It is a conversation regarding youth. In order for you to get involved, it has to start at home. Parents need to start talking about what's going on, what's around them, and also need to take a stand. What is wrong, what is right, so your kid can understand why things happen this way and why things happen that way. And that is a good start. So youth involvement is really critical, and is really basically it builds them up to know what's going on around them, what's good for them, what's not good for them, and all the law that being passed in America, in Canada, and also the law that being, I mean, that's a little thing we can do in Cambodia because of the regime, but at least how them understand the topic, how them understand why certain thing happen a certain way. That is so sitting at dining table talking about what's going on is a really good start. And again, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for tuning into our shows. And the most important thing is please help to support our petitions ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. We will talking about the impunity next week. So please help to support our petitions ending impunity for justice in Cambodia and at change.org, and we will see you next Tuesday. Thank you and bye.